The second thing that all Christians should hold common is a belief in God. A belief in God. But not just a general belief to some God out there. This God, the Christian God, is very particular, and there are very specific things that we should know about Him. And the chief thing, at least as it relates to this playlist, is that the Christian God is triune. Triune. So the Christian God is the triune God. Okay. This word might be somewhat new to many people. Perhaps you've heard the word Trinity, which also is a very good word. But I like this word triune because it's very descriptive in giving us some insight into who the Christian God is. And let me explain. If we get into just a little bit into the Latin roots of this word triune, and I don't intend to insult anybody's intelligence here, but I think it's very helpful to see. Okay, tri, the Latin root tri means three. You know, tricycle, three wheels. Tri, there's part of God that is a tripart. Okay, un. What about the un? Un or un means one. So when we speak of the Christian God being the triune God, what we're referring to, you could also say He is the three-one God. Very interesting. Okay, but we have to also, whenever we realize this, we need to see, okay, what is the one and what is the three? And we'll get into that in a few future videos. But we need to be very clear that the one aspect of the Christian God means that there is one God. There is one God. There are not three gods. There's not 3 + 1 = 4 gods. There is one God, but this one God is in three, has an aspect of threeness. And very briefly, you could say this three aspect is three persons, or a Greek word that describes this three aspect of threeness is the Greek word hypostasis. And the reason that word is probably a little better is because when the original Latin word personae or personas was used, it had a different denotation than the word person does today. And sometimes when we think of persons, we think of separate individuals with separate consciousnesses, separate wills, and that is not the case in the triune God. So you can use the word persons as long as you know that there's no separation. There are not three gods within the triune God. But we'll get into that in a little more detail going forward. But the Christian God is triune. So what does the Bible say about the three part? Okay, there's an aspect of His threeness, but what is it? Well, a verse in Matthew chapter 28, Matthew 28:19 speaks of the threeness of the triune God, and the three aspects that it reveals are the Father, the Son, and the Spirit. The Spirit. So when we speak of the tripart of the triune God, we are referring to the Father, the Son, and the Spirit. But again, just to reiterate and to close in this video, this Father, this Son, and this Spirit is one God. So what we have here is the tripart. Here we have the un part, or the un part. So we have the triune God.